Well, look at that face.
Hello, everybody. I'm back.
Hello, everyone. Emma would like to welcome you to Live at Lunchtime today during a very special week.
It is a very special week.
It's Donkey Week.
Yay for Donkey Week. Now we know that we've been with Emma and we've been with Alice and Lisa recently. But as well, here it is raining. I don't know if it's raining where you are, but here it is raining, so we are in the barn. So we're going so we're going to visit with Little Miss again today, because who doesn't love a nice donkey cuddle?
Who doesn't love it? In fact, that is what this week is. So it is a recognized week, basically to show off appreciation for these amazing equines.
That's right.
The donkeys of any size. We have standard donkeys, we have mini donkeys.
That's
We
right.
have so many donkeys here.
We do.
And we love them all. Yes, we do.
That's
Nor
good.
does.
Yeah, she was agreeing. Yeah.
You were agreeing. We love them all year round, but we love it when it's a special day or a special week that we can show our appreciation just a little bit more.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
we are here to do that and share some donkey facts.
Yes,
Yes.
I have some fun
They are
facts.
amazing.
Absolutely.
They are.
And just like we always talk about how horses have played such an important role in our culture and for society all over the world, donkeys also have played an important role. Same way the horses, well, not in the same way, but they have played such an important role in our culture and in society, and still do today.
Yes.
So we are here with Little Miss Emma again.
Truly, Little Miss, she is. If you don't know about Emma, if you've never been able to meet her in person, she is our baby of the sanctuary.
She is.
She's only about 3 years old. She arrived here last summer, and so she is our, not by far, we have a few residents that are a few years older than her,
Yep.
but she is our youngest
Yes.
resident here at 3 years old. And we were so happy to give her a home. So she actually was rescued out of a kill pen in Louisiana by a good friend of Equine Advocates Rescue and Sanctuary, Gerda Silver of Gerda's Equine Rescue out of Vermont. And so once Emma was rescued, she needed a permanent home, and so she reached out to us, and we were able to give a sanctuary and a home to little Emma here. And we have looked, oh my gosh, we need, she is cuddling you. She's pushing you, never mind. She was cuddling.
Like I said
She
before,
was.
if she could sit on someone's lap, I think she definitely would.
She absolutely could. A
Right.
lap donkey.
Oh yeah, I think she would love that.
She would.
Now she's actually gotten bigger since she's been
Oh my
here.
gosh, yes.
She, yeah, you're.
She is a standard donkey.
She literally is trying to like lean into me. It's so funny.
sweetheart.
She's like, your turn.
Your turn.
She's
So, yeah,
such a
she
cuddle
actually
bug.
was not this tall last summer.
No,
She was
wasn't.
not. She has
No.
grown very quickly.
And she's, as you can see, everybody knows, Little Miss Emma is just so sweet, such a cuddle bug. She just loves to be loved on and talked to and cuddled with.
Because she's still just a baby.
Yeah.
Just a child.
She is. Right, Little Miss?
Yeah.
I love how she does that. She just twists her neck right around. She's the perfect example for this poem I'm going to read to you at the end of the live.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about donkeys. They are so fascinating. Like I said, they have played such an important role and still do all around the world.
Yes, you have.
She knows I have a treat, so I'm just going to give it to her. I'm going to give you a little piece too.
Fun fact about donkeys, they love treats.
Yes, yes.
Very fun fact.
She says, oh,
Don't mind the horses in the barn.
that was from our little Mr. Rocket Man who's next door. This is his temporary home for now.
There we go.
Right?
Oh, look at those.
Ooh, she's such a
Those
sweet
rules.
girl. So I'm going to glance at my notes only because there's so many awesome facts. I don't want to miss anything. So let's see if you agree with all these facts. So donkeys, like I said, they are vital in communities. They are highly intelligent, very true, sociable, calm.
What are you doing?
I would consider her calm. She's talkative but calm. They are capable of independent thinking, which is amazing.
Oh, sorry.
Did you get scared?
I'm so sorry.
You got scared.
That was my fault.
That's okay. And decision making. So donkeys are I would say, a little bit more stoic than horses are, and they startle less easily. They still startle, as you can just say, yes, she's startled, but less easily than horses do. So it is a myth, actually, to say that donkeys are stubborn and that mules are stubborn. That is actually a protection mechanism that they have, and when they sense that they're not safe, they will refuse to do something. So a lot of times you'll see someone trying to like pull them. If they feel that they're going somewhere that's not safe, they will stop. And actually, this shows their independent thinking. They will stand still and they will think about what they're about to do.
Assess what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why, as humans, we can learn to trust them as a very trusted companion, because they will sense danger before we do. So always pay attention to your equines, pay attention to your donkeys, because they have something to say and you need to listen. Okay, so there are 3 main types of donkeys, and actually I did not know this until the other day. So I know there are wild donkeys, burros, right? But there are also feral donkeys, which is basically when a donkey, a domesticated donkey, escapes, or maybe was abandoned, like some of our donkeys have been rescued from. So they are considered feral. So that's when they leave and they go out and on their own.
They were domesticated and then went out into the wild. Okay.
Yep. And then, of course, there's domesticated.
Yes.
So wild donkeys typically grow to around 49 inches from the hoof to the shoulder. Now, when you measure a donkey, with a horse, you measure at the end of from the hoof to the withers. But for a donkey, you measure wherever their, what are you doing? You measure where their hair ends. So it would be right here.
Oh, I see. So right about where that, right up there then.
Yep. Are you hiding? Why
Are you shy?
Oh, I know what she wants. She wants her special spot.
Oh, I see. Oh, see, we got the muzzle.
Is that what you
going.
wanted? I'm sorry. Okay. So.
Always good to find the sweet spot.
Oh, absolutely. She has one by her shoulder also, but I think she wanted this one.
You can tell.
Oh, goodness. So, about 49 inches from hoof to shoulder, and they weigh around 551 pounds. Now, would you look at her?
Yeah.
I would not think that she weighed that much. This is why you can't sit on her laps.
No.
But yes, and typically, domesticated donkeys are just slightly smaller, so than their wild cousins, and they typically weigh between 400 and 500 pounds, and vary in height from 36 inches to 48 inches, depending on how they're bred. Oh, you're such a cute girl. Such a cute girl. And actually, I was reading online, and donkeys will typically grow until they're 5 years old. So she may still grow. Maybe she'll fill out. I know, right?
You're a growing girl.
How tall are you gonna get? Wild donkeys are found in the deserts and savannas in northern Africa, from Morocco to Somalia, in the Arabian Peninsula, and in the Middle East. One species, the Kiang or Tibetan wild donkey, is found in China, northern parts of Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, and in northern parts of Pakistan. She says, your turn. You're a good girl. Sadly, she's just leaning right in.
She really?
She's like, let me just sit here. You're such a good girl.
We definitely have a lip quiver.
Oh, yeah, she likes this
Close-up
spot
of
too.
that.
Oh, there it goes. It's this spot too, right on the
there.
shoulder. Right on the shoulder.
That's how you know you got the spot.
So, sadly, the wild donkey is natured, which is really, really sad. There have been, donkeys tend to be abandoned more often, and which is really sad because they're so sweet and special creatures, aren't you?
We actually, another one of our donkeys, Pensacola Pete, that actually was how he was rescued.
Yeah.
He, along with 3 other donkeys, was abandoned in Florida. And then when found, the other 3 donkeys were adopted in Florida, and a couple of friends reached out to us at that time to say, could you give a home to who we named Pete? And so we did. So we brought him here. But that is, they were abandoned.
Yep, and it's just awful that someone would do that,
Right.
because they are so intelligent, so, they are sentient. We talk about our equines being sentient beings, and they are. They have feelings and understand things, and they're just so healing for people. So it's a really sad thing, but that's why we have sanctuaries like ours to take care of these wonderful animals and to teach others how important they are. So yes, in the African wild donkey is critically endangered with only 23 to 200 adults left. And the Asian wild donkeys are classified as near threatened with a population of around 28,000, which is not a lot. So we'd like to see those numbers go up, and there are a lot of places that are trying to fight for them and protect them. Right? Yeah. So male donkeys are called jacks, and female donkeys are called jennies or jennets. So she would be considered a jenny. I know that's not your name.
Yeah, your name. A Jenny named Emma.
No, she's mad because I stopped petting her.
Oh,
Here,
goodness.
all right? Is that better? You just can't kiss my lips, okay? Donkeys are very social animals, as you can see.
Goodness.
Are you social? Yes. And they usually live in a group called a herd, just like horses do. And a wild herd is usually led by one jack, which is a male, and includes several jennies.
Okay.
Yeah. And donkeys, as you can see from watching our videos, Lisa, who loves to rest in the sun, well, donkeys especially rest during the hottest part of the day. That's something they enjoy doing. So that makes perfect sense as to why Lisa tends to sleep in the sunshine.
You gotta get that afternoon snooze in the sun.
Absolutely. I can't blame her. I have to say, if I had a
Unfortunately, I
chance, I would do
can't
that.
today.
You're not gonna be mad at me, are you, if I stand up, are you?
In fact, if we were to look over here, so we have our minis over here, and they are just, Lisa and Alice, as you can see, they want to be outside. They wish it was sunny. They're looking outside and they don't like the rain.
I know. Don't worry, it won't last forever. Emma has now chosen to lean on Alex. She's
Oh
like,
my
"Your
goodness.
turn for
I'll
snuggles."
say, in showing my appreciation for donkeys, one of my favorite parts of that.
I know. We have some fun facts about the ears, actually.
Look at those ears, I
So-
love the way they move.
know.
It's my favorite part. Hi.
Oh, look at that. Look at that hug. Look at that hug. So their
Attracts them.
ears are super important. They can actually hear, I believe it was 2.5 miles away, another donkey. But their ears are amazing. And the reason that donkey ears are so large, part of the reason, they also serve another function, which is to help keep them cool. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So I don't want to get this wrong. So, the larger surface area helps the donkey expel its internal heat at a high rate to stay cool in the hot environments.
Oh.
So that is pretty awesome because many of them do live in the hotter climates, right? You have something hanging off your lip there, Ben. Here. Don't get mad. She's mad. She's not lipping me. She's taking her lips and lipping me because she wants me to get this area. There, is it better? Okay. All right. So let's see. I thought this was pretty cool. So they're more active during the early mornings and evenings, and when they travel and graze with the herd. So that's when they would travel and graze. And sometimes, this is really cool, we could see this with Pete, actually. He is Tina's protector, so he's with Tina, who's a horse.
Yes.
And he loves to protect her. Now, donkeys are a lot of times trained and used for protection. They protect the other livestock, like sheep or goats, from predators. And they typically attack when threatened and will guard other animals if they're bonded to them. So even if they're bonded with a human, they would try and protect you, which I think is pretty awesome. So they're sometimes used as guardians for livestock. They can defend against dogs, coyotes, fox, or even bobcat. The livestock will begin to see the donkeys as their protectors and gravitate toward them when they feel that they are in danger.
Aw.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, so cool.
She just wants this spot rubbed all day.
Oh.
All day.
She would love that if
know.
you stayed all afternoon and did that.
What a good girl. What a good girl. So, brain. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Oh,
Because we
the
love-
perfect topic for Emma
Oh,
here.
yes. So Emma is known for being,
Probably our loudest sprayer here.
for sure.
For
And-
sure. I don't know if you'll hear it because we're giving her attention. It typically only comes out if she sees people walking by and they don't stop to pet her.
Mhm.
Now, why would anyone do that? Just walk on by.
I
But
know.
fortunately, we have staff and
We
we're
do,
always
yeah.
working, and sometimes we have to walk by because we're doing stuff. And she'll yell at us.
Yes. So she definitely is the loudest, and I'd say the most active brayer.
Yes.
You definitely hear Emma more than anybody else.
You do, and you can hear from across the sanctuary.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll know it's her.
That's
All the
for sure.
donkeys have a distinct, like, type of bray. You can
Yes.
tell who's talking.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They all have their own, just like horses have their own whinnies. And sometimes the whinnies are hard, like they're distinct, but sometimes they're a little bit more difficult to tell apart. Brays, you can tell them apart more easily, I think.
Yeah.
And the cool thing, so braying, it's unique among equines because it requires an ability that only donkeys have.
Ah.
So, vocalizing while both inhaling and exhaling. So that's how they come up with the hee-haw.
Ah.
Yep. And the he occurs during air intake, so when you breathe in, and the ha during the outtake, and they all sound different from each other. Some donkeys sound like they're singing, others sound like, I don't know how to describe Emma's.
Just loud.
loud.
Just loud. Like her whole chest was put into it. Whereas another one of our donkeys, Jake, who's just out there, sometimes they look at each other. His is very breathy.
Yes.
Like it's never like a full bray. I feel like I rarely hear. It's very like heavy breathing.
Yeah, it's
Like
sometimes just squeaky too.
A little
yeah.
squeaky, like
Little
just
squeaky.
a little bit of noise comes out. So again, very different.
You pay, girlfriend. I mean, look at that.
Aw.
She's just such a love bug.
See what I mean? And this is why she brays loudly when you don't do this to her because she loves it so much.
Are you
See?
having fun?
See what she does when you're right next to her.
Oh, lady. You're funny. You know what I think is funny and cute about her?
Mhm.
So let's look at the camera so they can see your cute little face. No? Here, like this? She No? Yes? There we go. So it's almost like a button. If you touch in between her ears, which is the pole, right? She puts her ears back. Why do you do that? It's so cute. All right, what else do we have here? Because there's so many cool facts. Let's see. We already talked about this a little bit. I'll mention it again. Hi. Now, she's not being nippy at all. She's just using her lips. And actually, that brings me to my next fact. So they eat a little bit differently than horses do. When they're eating grass outside and they're grazing, they actually pull the grass up with their lips. They lip it first, and then they bite. Right? So you lip your food, which is pretty interesting. And donkeys have a great sense of self-preservation. Again, they're not stubborn. They're protecting themselves. If they feel they're in danger, rather than running away, they'll stand their ground and refuse to move. I get that because when I'm scared, I do the same thing. I freeze sometimes.
The freeze.
Yeah. So it gives them time to make their own decision about whether or not it's safe to go forward. And when horses are usually frightened, they tend to run when they feel like they're in danger. Again, not stubborn, but smart. Very smart. Yes, very, very smart.
It is fun to you kind of see that in play sometimes when you go over to, we mentioned Pete and Tina. Pete, a donkey, and Tina, a horse. You'll see a lot of times people approach, and if they're both like in or nearby their stall, Tina will come trotting out to see what's going on, and Pete will hang back just for a little bit. Like observe from afar just to see what's going on first, and then he'll approach if he
Yeah.
wants to. Like maybe he's like, oh, I know you, I trust, I'll approach now, but
Right.
Tina. So it is interesting, especially because to see it side by side, the differences.
Definitely. It is very interesting. It is so amazing to, when you know the facts,
Mhm.
they just never cease to amaze. And there's always something, like I've been around horses my whole life, but I'm always learning something new.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing to me. Right?
Yes, you cute little girl.
Now let's see what happens if I stop.
Mm.
You don't like that, do you?
She's gonna be like, can you start again?
Okay. All right. So, these social and intelligent, sentient beings have unique capacity to bond with each other and with their humans. And their heart rates, just like I've talked about before with horses, they also sync up with those whom they come into contact with. This is evidenced
Oh!
by our donkey-assisted therapy programs. There are donkey-assisted therapy programs as well as horse therapy programs.
Mhm.
And they make a tremendous difference in the lives of so many children and adults alike. Yes, they do. Yes, you make a difference in my life. Yeah, we do. So their bond is independent, intuitive, autonomous, and the connection they make with can not only touch us about them, but also help us to learn about ourselves. I love that. Right? You're such a funny girl.
I feel like you could put her to sleep, like the way that you are just rubbing her. She's just enjoying that.
Yeah.
She could just fall asleep.
I know you could. Yeah, I know you want more. More, please.
She's very needy.
She is very needy. But that's okay. Can I get your eye boogers out? Here. All horses and equines get eye boogers.
They can't get them out like we can.
Does that feel good? Yes, it does. Okay. All right, my friend. Her grunt. She also grunts. This is just Emma.
Oh, itchy, itchy.
Oh my. Here. Is that better? Oh my goodness. What a love bug. So, in case you didn't hear it, I know I've read this poem before, but it's such an amazing poem, and it's specifically about donkeys, which fits in so well with Donkey Week, so I want to read it to you again. It's so cute. All right, this is perfect for Emma, too. It's Why We Keep a Donkey. It's from an unknown author. When your day seems out of balance and so many things go wrong, when people fight around you and the day drags on and on, when parents act like children and everything goes wonky, go out into the pasture, wrap your arms around your donkey. Her gentle breath enfolds you, she watches with those eyes. She does not have her PhD, but she is oh so wise. Her head rests on your shoulder, you hold her very tight. She puts your world in balance and makes it seem all right. Your tears, they soon stop flowing. The tension now has eased. The stress, it has been lifted, and you are quietly at peace. So when you need respite from the turmoil in your day, the best therapy ever is out there eating hay. Right?
Oh, that's beautiful.
I just love that. So whoever wrote that, thank you, because it's just beautiful. And makes perfect sense to me. And so if you are having a bad day, I hope that you can find a horse or a donkey somewhere to go give a hug to. Right? Or you can visit us on our open day.
You could.
And you might just be able to give little Missy a hug. Right?
Our first open day of the year is just a few days away.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
this Sunday.
You're such a sweetheart. You're such a sweetheart.
So if you are local to the area, we are in Chatham, New York this Sunday from 11 to 4. Our gates will open and you can come in and walk around and meet all of our donkeys, all of our equines. And Donkey Week goes until next Tuesday, I believe.
Mm.
It was from yesterday through next Tuesday, so you could come celebrate Donkey Week,
There
hang
you
out with
go.
donkeys.
That's
You
right.
could do that.
And we'll
That's how you could.
we'll give you a little test.
Mhm.
You have to come here and find out for yourself how many donkeys we
Ooh,
have here at
yes,
the
we mentioned a
sanctuary.
few names, but we didn't mention all of them.
So let's see if you could tell us how many there are and find them all. What do you think?
Maybe you'll hear it in the break.
What? No, you
Oh,
can't
goodness.
You can't eat my hair, you goofball.
Oh. She is such a sweetheart.
You're goofy girl. You're such a goofy girl.
All right, my friend.
Well, we hope you enjoyed hanging out with us this afternoon with this little love bug.
Do you want to say goodbye? Do you want anybody to know anything?
Mm-hmm.
Want to tell them something? Say, come visit me.
Come visit me. I'm awesome.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you